Shalom WJC family. Time for our weekly Torah Talk. This Shabbat we are celebrating, in addition to regular Shabbat, the holiday of Shemini Atzeret, the 8th day of Sukkot, and it will go right into Simchat Torah on Sunday. Now, this 8th day of Sukkot in the Torah has a special name, Chag HaAtzeret, the holiday of Atzeret. And the question is, what is this Atzeret? The word Atzeret, we are told by the great commentator Rashi, means to hold back, or as we know in modern Hebrew, related to the word stop. If you ride a bus in a municipality in a city in Israel, and you pull the little tab, or I guess press the tape these days, the little sign at the front of the bus doesn't say stop, it says atzur. Same word from the same root, ayin tzadik resh. Atzeret is a stopping day. And there's some belief that there's also that the last day of Passover is referred to as also an atzeret, a stopping day, but only in the Torah is Shemini Atzeret, what we now call Shemini Atzeret, the 8th day, the stopping day, mentioned as an atzeret. It's really a very beautiful concept, and I wanted to just stop and highlight what an amazing idea it is to have a holiday for stopping. It's really kind of genius, especially after this holiday season, right? On the 1st of Tishrei, we had Rosh Hashanah, 1st and 2nd. On the 10th of Tishrei, we had Yom Kippur. The 15th of Tishrei brought about the first Yom Tovim of Sukkot, day 1 and day 2. Now we are in Chol HaMoed. Friday will be Hoshana Rabbah, the second to last day of Sukkot, or with 2-day Yontif, the third to last day. By the time we get to Shemini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, you feel like celebrating the fact that we're stopping these holidays, that it's time to celebrate the idea that we had the holidays and also celebrate the idea that we stop. Rashi, when he talks about this in his commentary on Leviticus, I believe it is, brings Sukkot 55b, a beautiful midrash. It says, what is it compared to? It's compared to a king of flesh and blood who tells his servants, throw me a feast. Let's throw a giant feast. And they invite everybody in the whole nation, and all his closest advisors get involved to make sure it's the best feast that the nation has ever seen. And then, after a week of partying, the king turns to his closest advisors and says, okay, now prepare a feast just for you and me. Send everybody home and let's just hang out. And that's kind of what this holiday is for us, right? We spent the last 3 weeks, and if you count Elul, the month preceding Rosh Hashanah, when we start talking about Cheshbon HaNefesh, counting our souls, and we start blowing the shofar and reading the penitential psalm and getting ready for it. We spent the last 7 weeks really in this grand sort of calendrical tribute to our ability to have a relationship with God on these big, big occasions. And then we come to Shemini Atzeret. And in Sukkot, it explains that all through the holiday of Sukkot, we bring a bunch of bull offerings and goat offerings, a bunch of offerings, and it comes out to the number 70, which is, in the ancient world, the thought of the number of nations that there are. So sort of Sukkot is an international holiday. We're getting everybody together to celebrate that they can have a relationship with God, whatever that means, that which is holy in the world, in each of those different nations, perhaps a nod towards pluralism here. And by the way, we know they did make sacrifices on behalf of other nations in the temple, just like we do a prayer for the government of this country. They made sacrifices on behalf of the Roman Empire, Roman Emperor, and so forth. So on other days, on the other days of Sukkot, we're having a big party to celebrate with the whole world the idea that holiness exists, that God is present, the force that makes for that which is sacred in the world is present. And then on the last day, right, we only make one sacrifice. And it's God saying, now it's time for me and you. Thanks for throwing me that big party. Thanks for taking care of my temple. Thanks for taking care of my ritual. Thanks for doing all that sacrificing. Now I just want to be with you. And just like a person and his best friend after they threw a party might sit and talk about, wasn't it great when we did this? Wasn't it great when we did that? Didn't we have a nice sukkah this year? Didn't we enjoy the cantor's davening this year? Weren't the teachings around the theme of joyful together so beautiful this year, and so on and so forth? And that's what this last days of the holiday are all about. And isn't it brilliant to have an idea that a holiday would dedicate to stopping? So I wanted to encourage you in this Torah talk to think about what are the things in your life that you need to stop. Stop not meaning to get rid of. I'm not going to do that anymore. But to stop and maybe appreciate, maybe approach differently. Maybe find a way that through this atzeret, through this holding back, to make sure that the things we want to be close to us, the things we want to be holding the most dearly, are the things we are actually keeping close to us and holding the most dearly. Following God's example in this idea of keeping your best friend around, right? The special relationship of the children of Abraham that God makes of Shemini Atzeret. And so I wish you a Chag Sameach, and then I hope on Simchat Torah you have a wonderful time partying with the Sefer Torah and celebrating our ending of the Torah reading cycle with Vizot HaBracha and beginning it anew with Bereshit, starting as we always do. We're always in the middle of a reading of the Torah. And so what better way to sort of stop all these holidays than with the renewal of our Torah reading cycle? I wish you renewal and rejuvenation, and that you go out from this holiday season knowing what to hold close and what to hold even closer, and that you have a beautiful Shabbat and a Chag Sameach. Good Yantif.